this Mark's Reviews Tutorials video. Got the headliner out of this car and we're going to show you how to put it back on again. The first thing, and you only need a couple of people, this is a hatch, so it's a whole lot easier than trying to get this into a sedan. But in the hatch, you've just got to squeeze it in and sort of get it to bend upwards as you're sliding it in. You'll get it along. You don't have to take the headrests off. I've just got seats leaning forward and out of the way, and there's plenty of room to get that in. When it comes to putting this back up, you've just got to get it right so far as its distance forward to back. And I find it's actually easy to do with these plastic plugs in the back. See, there's a hole right there that this has got to go into, and if you line that up and get it in, it may fall out as we're going, but at least it'll get it set in the right position and get us started. We can then just get some rubbers under here in the back and then position the front a whole lot easier. Go, one's in, all nice and beautiful. You can see the rubber is going to go in now. And what we need to do is get this in. If you find you absolutely can't line up the second one, then go to the front and actually move the whole thing a little bit. And that, of course, will turn it where it is here. This is what squares the whole thing up and get it into position, push it in and get the second one in. Okay, so next, I like to get the little catches for the sun visors in. You can sort of line them up by getting in the hole. You can find out where they're at. Get those two in. They've got a Phillips head screw in them rather than the T20 Torx. When it comes to putting this in, you can sort of feel, if you've got a new headliner, you got to feel where the shape is, where the corner is, and basically get it to roughly right and then find the hole and screw it up. But it's not that hard. It definitely, if you can get someone to hold it up, is definitely better. I'm going to go over and do the other sun visor now, and then we're just going to work our way back with all of the handles and all of the fittings, and then tuck the rubbers in. Okay, once you've got the sun visor in, you see this is the bit for coming down the airbag over the front here. You see there's a slot in the front and there's a slot in the dash there. So we have to sit that into that slot, knowing that it's going to slide forward. So just ride it up into position and then slide it forward. You're going to have to get your material to sit down all at the same time, and then push that back, and she's screwed in. There's a little metal clip that goes on there. Okay, these little guys have these brackets, and you see on the back there that little hook. So you actually got to slide that in, put it in so it sits down flush like that, and then it's the different screw. If you mixed all your screws up, it's that one. It's got to go in, screw it in flat. If you're finding it hard to find the holes for any of these in the door handles or anything else, get yourself one of these. This is just like a spike, but what you can do, you can hold the piece up in place and then find the screw hole and then drive your screw in. It makes it so much easier. We try to find it blind here. This is all under the cover, so that's fine, but having absolutely no luck at all. It's just a smooth bit of metal with the screw hole in it, so we've got to get it exactly spot on. So we'll hold this up. Certainly you find where that big rear hole is, and then we'll push this spike through to find the screw hole, and then putting the screw in will be nice and easy. I'll put a link in the description where to buy a set of these. They're cheap as and just super handy. As soon as I got that tool, screw went straight in. Now what we're going to do is the same on this side. You can just feel for it, move it around. There you go, straight into the hole. Looks going right up like that. I know I'm lined up, so now I can get the drill and just screw it straight into place. Okay, so once you've got all your fittings back on one side, then it's time to refit the parts through the B-pillar. The numbers on the B-pillars, the front one to the windscreen is the A-pillar, the one between the doors is the B-pillar, and then you've got yourself a C-pillar back there. They just go ABC, so you know where you're at. This has got a couple of lugs in the top, and those lugs go into those slots. So we lift that up, we get it in place, and then we need to position it under those rubbers, put in the two plastic clips down below. Okay, so to fit these pins, it's a matter of you slide the inner pin right back and then massage these in as far as you can, and then put them into position. And then once it's in position, push it all the way home, get this tight, get everything where you want it, and then press the center pin in, and that'll all lock it into place. So the trick to pushing these homes is actually your trim removal tools. I said I've got links to good tools and this sort of stuff in the description. And you press that forward like that, and that holds everything in tight and home. And then you can just press that home. You can even give it a tap with a back end of a screwdriver or something, just to gently tap it in, and that'll lock that nicely into place. That's how they should look when they're done, nice and tight, firmly holding that in place. And then the next panel, you can see the slots where it's going to lock up into place. and then pin into place down below. Okay, for this lower panel, move your seat, rock it forward and move it forward, get it out of the way. It's going to give us plenty of room in here to position this. Now looking at the inside, as I pointed out, it's got those 2 clips at the top which are going to slot into where those screws are, and then you've got clip down clips here, so once they line up they'll clip and lock into place. Okay, now once you've got all that on, we're coming around to the back, and this panel here, it's got a clip and it's also got a screw in through the airbag light that goes in there. Now across the back here, you just get your finger under that rubber. It has a secondary piece and you just run your finger along and that will place that back in there. Finishes it right off. So to place this in, remembering it's got to go down into these clips. So we place it down and then back, get that clip lined up. This one, press it into place and then do it up with this. You can actually get this in the right position again by lifting the rubber up and putting this into the rubber, which will get it in the right position so far as forwards and backward is concerned. So get it to sit in that rubber all the way along. Sliding it down as well, so it comes right in there by the seat. And then we've just got to line up that clip and bang him in. So there you go. Again, run your finger down there to lift that rubber over the top. And if you've got both rubbers in, you know it's right. The clip is slid in. I was able to just put my finger over the top of the clip and just get it into the hole and then bang it in. It's come up nice and tight. And we'll do up the screw with the Torx, put the airbag clip back on, and that side is done. Fitting these front door trims, these all came out, all 8 on my car. So you just need to get under them, flick them out, and then we're going to mount them back in where they go here, line up all the holes, and then clip them down and into place. You'll notice also there's a clip at the back on this and at the front, and it does actually clip over here and over here as well, and that holds it down as well as these 4. But rip all these back out, put them into the fitting, and then we'll put them in place and clip them down. They're now positioned back where they go. Get this the right way around with those little clips to the leading edge, and then line up each of these with the holes. You see, you're going to have to move them around to line them up. Line them all up. There. That one's got to come back a little bit. That one's got to come back a little bit. That looks good. And she clips straight on. As I said, get those little bits over the back edge as well. Beautiful and tight.